The moment Ashanti's name got tangled up in Nelly's latest cheating chaos, Kelly Rowland popped out like she'd been waiting for this exact moment, and fans instantly started side-eyeing her energy. And the way she slid that message in right when the scandal dropped, way too perfect to pretend it was an accident.
I mean, you know, you gotta laugh at yourself sometimes.
What he said.
Ashanti was already getting slammed with whispers that Nelly stepped out again, this time with somebody tied to his own circle.
Shout out to my sister Kay. Kelly, we roll.
I'm gonna party with Nelly. We had our win for tonight and we're really excited.
And instead of showing sympathy like a real sis, Kelly hit the timeline acting amused. She threw up this slick little message that basically screamed, "Couldn't be me," and the streets clocked the shade instantly.
Do you know how much flack I get from that?
I'm sorry to be one of the people adding to that.
Oh, it's all right.
But here's where things get spicy, because insiders swear this wasn't random at all. Allegedly, Kelly's been sitting on smoke for Ashanti for years. And this scandal was just the perfect excuse to finally let that tension slip out.
Did anybody address that at the time?
No. And I'm actually mad at them that they didn't because they made me look nuts.
Some even claim Ashanti always felt a little shaky whenever Kelly was around during those Nelly tour days. Like she never fully believed her spot was locked in. Drama everywhere. Now people are debating whether Kelly was being messy on purpose or finally saying what she's been wanting to say forever. And the jokes online are wild because fans keep calling her Peggy Boots, saying she stay ready to throw some shade no matter what Ashanti got going on.
I'm definitely the person where I'm like, I'm nice until you try me. It can be like you never existed. I'm definitely that person. If you cross me good enough, you never existed. And I just believe that I do people good. I mean people good. I want to see everybody win. I want to see everybody be great. And that's genuine with every fiber of my being. So when you don't want that for me, holla. It's like you never existed.
It's as normal as you want it to be.
Even though Nelly is Ashanti's man now, folks swear Kelly stays creeping into her petty bag every chance she gets. And trust, this latest moment wasn't quiet. Her energy toward Ashanti is getting bold, loud, and impossible to ignore. Everybody knows there's been this low-key tension brewing between them for ages, even if neither of them has ever said it out loud. Fans been putting two and two together for years, and the history between these women has never sat right with anybody. But Kelly's latest move basically confirmed what everybody's been whispering behind closed doors. Right after the internet exploded with claims that Nelly was out here cheating on Ashanti and that their whole relationship wasn't nearly as perfect as it looked, Kelly switched up her whole vibe in a way people couldn't ignore. Out of nowhere, she started loading up her socials with glossy throwback shots of her and her husband Tim looking like some picture-perfect love story. But the gag is, Kelly don't even move like that on a normal day. She's not the type to overshare her personal life just for fun, so fans instantly felt like this was way too targeted to be some random memory lane moment. And trust, the internet detectives jumped on it fast. They said the way she posted, the timing, the little captions, it all looked like Kelly was sending a message that had nothing to do with Tim and everything to do with Ashanti catching heat from Nelly's mess. She never named Ashanti directly, but the energy was loud enough that people didn't need subtitles. And baby, considering Ashanti been getting dragged left and right ever since the cheating rumors dropped, the whole thing felt like Kelly was stomping her when she was already down. You could almost hear Ashanti thinking, I don't know why you want to treat me bad, treating me so bad. Because what made Kelly slide into petty mode like that? What pushed her to shade that hard in public? If Kelly's comfortable enough to drop hints this bold, then whatever happened behind the scenes might have been messier than anybody thought. And once people started digging, it didn't take long for the old whispers to resurface. This whole situation allegedly ties back to Kelly's old situationship with Nelly, and the long-running rumor that Ashanti took Nelly from Kelly back in 2003. Kelly and Nelly first crossed paths in 2001, back when she was still rocking with Destiny's Child, and the two got close during the MTV TRL Total Request Live tour. And that's where things start heating up for the next part. By the very next year, Kelly and Nelly were already moving through the industry like a power pairing. And once they linked up for Dilemma, everything blew open. That track went straight to #1, dominated the charts, and even snatched them a whole Grammy. But you know how it goes. Big songs bring big rumors. And this one had people talking nonstop. Their chemistry was way too natural, way too magnetic, for folks to believe it was just business. Online fans were convinced something romantic had been bubbling behind the scenes, even though neither of them ever confirmed a thing. But the real fuel came from the way Kelly talked about him during interviews, because she was not holding back on the compliments. She was out here saying things like, I love Nelly. This song is so catchy. Nelly has a great ear. He came up with this really catchy hook. I love you. Nah, need you and everybody sings it. And once she said all that, oh, People started raising eyebrows because that didn't sound like simple coworker praise. It sounded personal. And then Kelly even admitted recording the song didn't feel like work, that the whole thing was just fun. And coming from someone as polished and media trained as her, fans took that as a major hint that their bond ran deeper than what the cameras showed. It had everyone wondering if there was a quiet little situationship tucked between those harmonies. But if you think that was the height of their tension-filled chemistry, it only gets messier from there. Because that wasn't the last time Kelly and Nelly teamed up. In 2011, almost a whole decade after Dilemma, they came back together for another track called Gone, and the music video had people doing double takes like, hold up, what are we looking at right now? That video was way more than a cute comeback moment. It was straight up steamy. The shots were intimate, the body language was locked in, and it did not look like two people just acting for the camera. Their vibe was giving full Love Island energy, like somebody was about to whisper, "Can I pull you for a chat? We're closed off now." And everyone watching felt it instantly. Naturally, the rumors came roaring right back. Folks started saying the video felt too real, like it was a little peek into something that had already been happening off camera. Some fans swore Kelly and Nelly were sneaking around in real life, and that shooting the video was the perfect cover because nobody would question that kind of chemistry if it was just for the music. And then, there were the believers who said the quiet part out loud, that maybe Kelly and Nelly had been seeing each other low-key for years, and this was how they kept the connection tucked away without setting the blogs on fire. The streets love a theory, and this one started catching heat fast. But eventually, Kelly stepped in when the whispers got too loud. She shut it down publicly, saying, "Nelly and I are not dating. He actually has been a friend of Destiny's Child for years. Nelly's like a big brother." That was her official word. But even with that statement, not everybody bought it, because the more she called him a brother, the more people side-eyed the situation, since the energy they showed on screen and off didn't exactly scream siblings, and fans couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper had been living between the lines. For the fans who'd been watching this saga stretch across decades, Kelly's denial didn't calm anything down. It actually made the whole situation feel even more suspicious. But eventually, the smoke died out. Both of them backed off the headlines, and life moved into different chapters. Kelly got married in 2014, settled into her family life, and now has 2 beautiful kids. And ever since then, she's kept her world tight, quiet, and far away from any messy spotlight. Nelly, though, his timeline stayed a lot louder. He dated around for a while before locking into a long-term situation with his ex, Chantel, and when that relationship ended, it was chaotic. Subtle shots, shady posts, silent tension, the whole nine. But then 2023 rolled around and everybody's jaw hit the floor because he spun the block and reconnected with Ashanti. They kept it quiet at first, but somehow, after all their ups and downs, they ended up getting married that same year. And then, in July 2024, Ashanti welcomed their first child together. Boom! Just like that, they were a whole family unit. It felt like a wild, full-circle moment after everything they'd survived. Fans were rooting for them heavy, thinking they finally got their fairy tale ending. But that picture-perfect vibe didn't last long, because almost immediately, the headlines got loud again. And I know you've seen the wild allegations floating around. People claiming Nelly hasn't been the partner Ashanti deserved, hinting that there's been tension behind the scenes that nobody wants to say out loud. And that's exactly when things take another messy turn. Because there's been this long-standing theory that Kelly still holds a quiet grudge toward Nelly, toward Ashanti, or maybe both, and that she never really let go of whatever went down back in the day. And that theory starts getting even more believable once we dig into what happened next. Things hit a whole different level once fans caught on to something that had everybody talking. People started claiming Kelly refused to clear Dilemma for Nelly to perform. And that's when the whispers turned into straight-up speculation. Because Dilemma isn't just another track. It's one of the biggest songs of Nelly's entire career. A Grammy-winning classic that still gets radio love like it dropped yesterday. So when word spread that Kelly didn't greenlight it, folks were instantly side-eyeing hard. On paper, some said it could have been about Nelly's whole MAGA phase, but the internet wasn't buying that as the full story. Fans began saying the real reason felt way deeper. Like whatever happened between them back in the day still had sharp edges. And you already know the long-running whispers, that Kelly and Nelly had a little something going on back then, and that Ashanti might have been the reason it fizzled out. Those rumors have lived rent-free in fan conversations for years. So when this Dilemma situation popped up, it just poured gasoline on the theory. The second that headline dropped, Kelly allegedly blocked Nelly from performing their classic, the internet went into detective mode. Memes, threads, timelines exploding, and some sources even doubled down, claiming Kelly was still quietly salty about how things unfolded in the early 2000s. And that keeping the song locked up was her way of reminding both Nelly and Ashanti that she didn't forget a single detail of their history. And that's exactly where things start getting even more tangled. So when Kelly hopped online with that slick, "my man would never" energy right after Ashanti got blasted for allegedly getting cheated on by the same man, yeah, nobody felt like that was random. If anything, the timing made it look like payback served extra cold. Because if there's any truth to the old rumor that Ashanti played a part in Nelly stepping out on Kelly back in the day, then Kelly's post wasn't just petty. It was personal. And honestly, with all the chaos circling around Nelly and Ashanti these past few weeks, Kelly had plenty of material to troll with. Their relationship had been looking shaky for a minute, but fans didn't realize how deep the cracks were until that reality show aired and exposed everything the couple tried to keep cute. Instead of giving power couple vibes, their dynamic looked tense, dismissive, and low-key mismatched. Nelly came off annoyed half the time, and Ashanti felt like she was trying to adjust to a man who wasn't matching her energy anymore. And viewers caught every detail. One moment that had fans sounding the alarm came during the scene where Nelly was getting ready to perform at the presidential inauguration. On paper, it sounds huge, iconic even, but behind the scenes, it played out completely different than people expected. Ashanti looked visibly uncomfortable, like something deeper was off. And from the way she talked, it didn't sound like a little case of nerves. It sounded like she didn't feel heard at all. And then, things got real heavy, real fast. In the clip you're about to dive into, Ashanti straight up says Nelly brushed off her concerns, acting like her feelings didn't matter in that moment. No real talk, no middle ground, no shared understanding, just a wall. It was supposed to be a milestone moment they celebrated together, but instead it revealed how far apart they truly were behind closed doors. And the wildest part? He basically implied that unless Kareem, his son, could verbalize his needs, he wasn't stepping in. That line shocked everybody because it showed exactly how disconnected things were becoming. And it gave fans even more reasons to question how solid this relationship really was. Now really sit with what that means for a second. Ashanti is expected to handle the entire load of postpartum parenting on her own, day after day, while Nelly is out touring, posting, and moving like he's still living the bachelor life. And the way he said it didn't come off like a joke or even a miscommunication. It sounded like a man who had already decided his role was optional. That tone was cold, confident, and carved in stone. And when you add that attitude to the cheating rumors and everything we've already seen on the show, their whole situation stops looking like a rough patch and starts feeling like Ashanti is carrying the baby, the household, and the entire marriage without anybody holding her hand. It's giving team of one, and fans are not blind to it. But just when viewers thought the mess hit its peak, it got even uglier. Because in the next clip, Ashanti opens up about something that had fans looking at Nelly sideways like, what is he doing? She shares that he never gets up at night to help with their baby. Not once. No diaper changes, no feedings, no late night support, nothing. Meanwhile, he's knocked out every night with Big Z like he's at a spa retreat. And instead of hearing that and maybe showing a little empathy, maybe even saying, yeah, that's not fair, Nelly starts bragging. He proudly flexes about being able to sleep through the night like a chimp, calling himself a good sleeper. Like that's some kind of achievement while his partner is barely holding it together. Anybody who's ever been around a newborn knows that postpartum exhaustion hits different. So the brag felt ice cold. But what had fans truly heated was what he said next. Because Nelly didn't just brush it off. He doubled down. He said it was Ashanti's job to get up at night and take care of their son. No pause, no softness, no suggestion of teamwork. Just a flat, matter-of-fact statement delivered like it wasn't even up for conversation. And the way he said it, that wasn't heat of the moment yelling. It didn't sound reactionary. It sounded like something he truly believes deep down. A standard he's had set long before the cameras rolled. That clip didn't expose tension. It exposed a mindset. And once fans caught that, the whole conversation around their marriage shifted instantly. In Nelly's mind, it really seemed like the default setting was Ashanti handles the baby, and he keeps living his free-as-ever lifestyle. It came off like he saw fatherhood as something he could clock into whenever he felt like it, while she was expected to carry the full weight every single day. Fans watching all this started questioning whether he even understood what being a present dad looks like. Because the more Ashanti talked, the more obvious it became that she was doing the late nights, the early mornings, the feedings, the diapers, the emotional labor, the whole package, while Nelly moved around like his life never shifted 1 inch. Touring, posting, appearing at events, keeping the same routine he had before the baby. Meanwhile, Ashanti is glued together with coffee, willpower, and exhaustion. That's when people started asking the big question they'd been dancing around for weeks. Was Nelly ever actually ready for a real marriage and family? Or did he just want the aesthetic of one? So the two of them tried to push back against the rumors by sitting down for a joint interview, hoping to look united. But instead of calming anything down, it made everything 10 times worse. Their vibe was stiff, the answers felt staged, and both of them looked like they were trying too hard to convince the world everything was fine. It didn't feel like love, it felt like PR cleanup. Then came the moment that set social media off. The conversation about what it was like filming the show while taking care of a newborn. And the way Nelly answered that question, it told the entire story without needing a single rumor. He basically admitted that filming with the baby wasn't hard for him at all, because he barely did anything. He brushed it off like he was a guest in his own household. He even joked about how few diapers he's changed, how he sleeps straight through the night, and how easy things are on his end because Ashanti handles everything. He laughed like he was sharing a cute little moment while she sat there trying to laugh it off through the exhaustion. Fans watching were stunned because he wasn't embarrassed. He wasn't shy. He sounded proud of putting in the bare minimum. It wasn't a slip-up. It was a reveal, a real-time look at a dynamic where one partner is drowning and the other is relaxing poolside. So instead of the interview fixing their image, it confirmed what the internet had been whispering for weeks. This marriage is hanging by a thread, and Ashanti looks like she's holding that thread all by herself. And just when it felt like things couldn't spiral any harder, the streets lit up with brand new cheating rumors. Fresh, loud, and messy. Suddenly everybody's talking like Nelly's been out here stepping on Ashanti while he's on tour. And not just a one-time slip. Allegedly, it's been happening repeatedly, city after city, like it's part of the itinerary. Then insiders are whispering that he's been on the road for weeks, and the pattern is always the same. New show, new backstage faces, new women popping up after the lights go down. Different city, same routine. And this time the whispers aren't coming from random fans. They're coming from people connected to the tour who aren't even trying to hide it anymore. Anyone who's ever been around tour life knows how wild it gets. The drinking, the after parties, the late night chaos, the energy backstage. And once the crew packs up and the stage is dark, it's like an entirely different world opens up. And from what people are saying, Nelly's been moving through that world with a whole lot of attention from women, more than Ashanti would ever be comfortable with. Fans haven't forgotten how Ashanti reacted when Nelly first told her he was heading back on the road. She wasn't thrilled, not even close, and she made it known on camera that being left alone with a newborn while he globe-hopped didn't sit right with her. But that was just the polished TV-friendly version. Behind the scenes, insiders say the real issue wasn't just the loneliness or the workload. It was trust. Because Ashanti knows Nelly. She knows his habits. She knows exactly how he moves when he's in that tour environment. So the moment he brought up buses, hotels, late nights, and life on the road, she didn't hear career opportunity. She heard problems. She heard temptation everywhere. She heard history repeating itself. And now, with these new rumors flooding social media, fans are wondering if Ashanti's instincts were right all along, because everything she was afraid of seems to be reappearing right in front of her. At this point, it's clear as day that everything shiny on Instagram ain't actually glowing in real life. Not every celebrity couple is living the fairy tale they sell online, and this whole situation is proof. And honestly, Kelly has every reason to be looking sideways at all this chaos, because from the outside looking in, sis might have dodged a major life disaster. Watching Ashanti deal with all this stress, drama, and midnight meltdowns, yeah, Kelly probably thinking, that could have been me. And low-key thanking the universe it wasn't. And with everything unraveling the way it has, you can't really blame her if she's feeling a little smug about how life turned out. So now everybody's asking the question that's been hanging in the air. Was Kelly just being petty? Or was this her quiet, full-circle moment of sweet revenge? Either way, the situation is loud and clear. Ashanti's happily ever after is cracking faster than anyone expected. And the same man she once called her baby, baby, baby might now be the reason she's up all night raising an actual baby while fighting off heartbreak at the same time. And as social media keeps breaking down every move, every post, every moment caught on camera, Kelly's shade is starting to hit even harder. Because the more you look at it, the more it seems like she wasn't just being messy, she was motivated. And right now, she's looking like the one who got the last laugh. And definitely the loudest laugh. If you're rocking with this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Because this story is only getting wilder.